Back in 1995, American Airlines and the Transport Workers Union, who was a union representing the mechanics, negotiated a contract, and they came back with a 3.5% increase over 6 years. And at that time, that was probably the highest profit-taking time in airline history. And I wasn't mad at the company because their representatives did what they were supposed to do for the company, and our union sent in representatives that were just overwhelmed by the negotiators of American Airlines. So at that point, I said I need to find something else where I can what my destiny and my income. And I wasn't really sure of what it was that I wanted to do. And then a friend of mine that I worked out with, he said, "Hey, why don't you take a look at this and give this a try?" So that's how I started considering the insurance industry.
Why did you need so much income? What was your lifestyle like?
I was a bachelor with a highfalutin appetite. And when I say that, I had a house with a mortgage. I had a Porsche 911 Turbo, an older used one. I also had a boat, and I was not going to allow any of that to go away. So it was a situation where I better knuckle down. And if there's an opportunity presented, I was going to have to work for it and work very hard for it.
So this guy meets you and he says, "Hey, why don't you sell some insurance for me?" And you say, "Sure, why not?" What happened?
With that, he offered to pay me a little bit on the side, which hindsight being 2020, which is not something anybody can do.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. I started going out to the airport and I brought applications with me. Didn't know much about insurance, but American Air, the company I was working with, they allowed me to sell the insurance, and the company that he was representing was a well-named brand. So I started telling my mechanic friends, gate agents, the pilots, flight attendants, anybody that would listen to me. I started selling insurance. I'd make a phone call back to this agent's office, give them all the information, quote it, write the business. And after about a year and a half, 2 years, I probably wrote about 150, 180 policies. And the company wanted to know why his production increased so dramatically. And so they set up a meeting with me, and his district manager was going over everything and said, "Can I see your license?" And I said, so I handed him my driver's license. He says, "No, your insurance producer license." I said, "What's that?" And the district manager looked at the agent and said, "You got this guy selling insurance without a license?" And the guy says, "Hey, he's ambitious. He wanted to try and make a
Oh
couple
boy.
bucks." So that's how I got into the insurance business.
So when this agent, who you were actually helping to increase his production for, showed you that statement in 1998, by the way, where he was making $20,000 a month, what went through your head?
Opportunity. I
Yeah.
saw an opportunity. All I need is that light at the end of the tunnel. And as long as it's not a train, I'm running to that light. And that light of opportunity to be able to govern how much I made gave me the opportunity to run and grab the opportunity by the tail and run with it. And take my word for it, that was not an easy task to walk away from something secure like the airline industry into something that was commission based.